It's December 3rd of 2022, a Hawkeye 10 regular season basketball doubleheader between the Kemper Knights and Denison Schleswig Monarchs, a game that carried more weight and emotion than a state championship game, and it was almost never played. But two communities packed the Denison Schleswig gym that night to honor a cherished and beloved teacher and coach whom the Monarchs lost the day prior, Adam Burns. Burns was a longtime teacher and coach at Denison Schleswig, and his character on and off the court was contagious.
He was dedicated and he was selfless, and he put everything he had into others, and it radiated off of him, and it made others want to be the same way and push them to be just like him.
He always said that he doesn't care how good we are on the court or on the field or in the classroom, just as long as we're a good person to people in the world. And that is something that has stuck with me forever.
If you ever needed anything, he'd be there for you all the time, whether it be something minor at school or whether it be, anything bigger. I had water in my basement one time, which he was one of the first people there just to see if he could help. I didn't call him or anything like that, but just showed up to see if he could help.
His compassion to compete in everything in life helped lift the Monarch girls basketball program to its first state tournament appearance since 2005.
The day that we played and we walked out, it about made me tear up, and Adam as well, is to see the support from our community. We outnumbered about every fan base that whole week. I mean, we walked out and you just saw purple and gold and Monarchs, and you do so much with these kids, and your goal is to get them to those places, and just to see the community support that we had was something I think those players will never forget.
Previous seasons and the heartbreak, it definitely made us embrace the moment more and appreciate it more. And Coach Burns was a huge part of that too. He embraced the moment and he appreciated it while we were in it. He kind of made us kind of realize that too. He even said it in the locker room. He's like, just embrace this moment. You've worked hard. It's paid off. You deserve this. And yeah, it was a super cool experience. And I think the best part was we all experienced it as a team together. There wasn't no one individual. We really all came together in that moment for that big game.
A banner in the rafters, a trophy in the case, and a community full of love and appreciation for their girls basketball program. Coach Burns continued to be a light inside and out of Denison Schleswig athletics. Little did anyone know, a man so dedicated to giving back to others would soon be fighting his biggest battle yet. In April of 2021, Adam was diagnosed with brain cancer, but his competitive nature didn't let that slow him down one bit.
He had a lot of challenges and things that he was dealing with, maybe even before his diagnosis, but certainly all through his diagnosis. You didn't know it, you didn't see that, and you knew it was heavy, but he wasn't worried about himself. And if he was, you didn't know that. It was always about others.
He never slowed down. In fact, he might have sped up. He never stopped teaching. He never stopped coaching. He never stopped enjoying life. Here's this guy, he's diagnosed with this, terrible disease, and he never felt sorry for himself. And he never, there'd be times where I'd be telling Adam in the summertime, hey, you don't need to be at open gym. Like, you get to eat. Nope, I'm coming. I'll be there. And he'd go, and then he'd be like, hey, are you okay if I leave a little bit early? Because he had to go get chemo. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to ask those things.
Years prior to his diagnosis, one quote that Coach Mish and Adam created would stand the test of time and not only rallied their basketball team together, but an entire community. And all you do, compete.
And over the last 10 years, him and I have used the word compete, every single day in practice, during games. We have it all over our locker room. We have it on the backs of our practice uniforms. Adam used to always tell the girls when if you can read the word compete during practice, it means you better catch up and and get to that person.
For me, and all you do compete means that no matter how easy or hard something is for you, just compete and do your best, like no matter how hard. And I'll forever say this to people day in and day out.
You have so much you can compete for and work for, and it can be taken away from you so fast. So you should be giving your full effort no matter what, because you don't know how fast you could lose it.
I think as much as competing against others, it's the process that Adam said that we have to compete against ourselves. Competing against yourself to do what you need to do. It's getting up in the work and the next day. It's getting to work on time. It's doing the little things. And I think that's the part that probably I took more from this and still take more from it every day is, we all have stuff that goes on at work that kind of gets our daubers down, and we can say, well, am I going to let that beat me or not?
Him and I were able to develop that together, and his buy-in and helping that preach it to our kids have been something special to our program over the past 10 years.
Adam was called home on December 2nd, 2022. No matter how you look at the situation, Adam fought, battled, never gave up, and just like so many did for him, competed. The very next day, the Monarchs were scheduled to play the Kemper Knights, and a decision had to be made.
We'd gone back and forth with administration about if we even wanted to play that game. I kind of went back and forth, and we decided to even practice that afternoon, which we think was probably a good idea because it just got our kids, a little bit of time to escape and just worry about playing a game of basketball.
Very tough decisions we didn't take lightly, but I think talking it over with the coaches and stuff, they kind of knew what Adam would do. Adam would want to compete. That's what we did. So, I had some kids I talked to that day, and some would say, well, I'm in school today, I'm in school, and I come to school the last few weeks because I've seen Mr. Burns do the same thing.
I still don't know how my kids got through it. There was always a thing with Adam and I when we had close games, and Adam's sitting at the end of the bench, and when we'd kind of get it or we kind of knew it was clinched, and I'd kind of always give his calf a big smack, and it was one of those games where kind of my first, he's not here for me to do that. That was hard. That was hard to get through, and then I've been in a lot of locker rooms where we've won games and won big games, and that one, it was, I think it just came out of our kids. It was just tears. It was definitely a special night, and like I said, you could definitely feel Adam's presence, in the gym that night.
Adam's presence was felt by a community who rallied around him, even when he continued to give back in his darkest times. Adam was a friend, colleague, coach, teacher, husband, father, but most importantly, a competitor. The biggest lesson Adam taught will continue to motivate those inside and out of the Denison Schleswig community for generations to come. In all you do,
Compete.
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 If you'd like to donate to the Compete for a Cure Foundation or to the Adam Burns Memorial Scholarship, both Venmo QR codes can be seen on screen. 100% of the proceeds from the Compete for a Cure Foundation will go back to help assist families fighting similar battles and fund local research on brain cancer. Thank you for your donation.